Welcome to humanity's Vanguard HFY and Sci-Fi stories. In a universe of monsters, humans are the true predators. They mapped Earth as harmless. Low technology. Minimal threat. Then their landing ships failed under gravity before humans even fired. The Grand Chronicler Zelther of the Zilari Empire recorded the campaign as routine annexation. Sector 22B contained a single inhabited world, Earth. Primitive industry. Fragmented governance. No unified planetary defense. Ancient warning beacons surrounded the system, broadcasting identical messages in decaying dialects. Do not approach. Cradle of Death. Zelther archived them as relic superstition, artifacts left by species that had mistaken hardship for danger. The High Council authorized deployment without hesitation. As the Zilari Armada emerged from slip space, Earth rotated below in calm silence, blue oceans reflecting sunlight like a signal of vulnerability. No defensive grid activated. No fleet intercepted. It was wrong. Several scout ships immediately reported structural stress. Hull integrity warnings escalated. Gravitational pull exceeded projections by a factor of 3. Zelther logged the anomaly as a calibration error. He would later revise that entry as the first undeniable sign that the Empire had misunderstood not the enemy, but the environment that created it. The first landing wave deployed under Commander Virak Toll, descending toward a dense urban region later identified as New Marseille. Thousands of Zilari soldiers impacted the surface in controlled formation. The formation collapsed instantly. Gravity crushed them downward, forcing limbs to buckle under weight their bodies were never designed to endure. Breathing cycles destabilized. Movement slowed to a crawl. Several soldiers collapsed outright, unable to rise. Across the fractured streets, civilians watched. Among them stood Kara Douglas, an infrastructure engineer, observing silently while holding a heavy toolkit in one hand. She shifted her weight casually, unaffected. Nearby, Javier Castro jogged across debris, carrying supplies, his pace steady under the same crushing force. Zilari sensors struggled to recalibrate. Every movement required effort. Every second drained energy. Zelther recorded the moment with growing unease. On Earth, survival itself required strength beyond the Zilari biological limits, and the dominant species did not struggle to exist. They operated. A patrol unit led by Lieutenant Sarek advanced into a partially destroyed transit corridor, encountering a group of civilians including Timothy Bender and Lalani Hendricks. Standard protocol initiated suppression fire. Plasma rounds struck Bender directly in the shoulder. He fell. Zilari soldiers advanced with calculated precision. Then Bender stood. Blood flowed, staining his clothing, but his posture shifted. His breathing intensified. His gaze locked onto the nearest Zilari. He did not retreat. He charged. The distance closed in seconds. Impact fractured Sarek's armor. The patrol hesitated, processing a contradiction. Wounded prey should flee. Instead, it attacked. Bender continued despite injury, his movements accelerating, not slowing. Zilari medical analysts observing remotely identified the trigger. Adrenaline. A biochemical override that suppressed pain and amplified strength under extreme stress. A biological error. A survival glitch. Or something worse. The patrol unit was eliminated within moments. Zelther replayed the footage repeatedly, unable to reconcile the data. The humans did not behave logically. They became more dangerous when they should have died. Zilari command adapted, deploying structured occupation protocols under Commander Virak Toll, advancing into forested regions surrounding New Marseille. The terrain itself resisted them. Dense vegetation limited visibility. Uneven ground destabilized already strained movement under gravity. Then the rain began. Atmospheric water interacted violently with Zilari bioorganic armor, corroding its outer layers within minutes. soldiers were forced to remove protection to maintain mobility. Exposure increased vulnerability. Hidden within the forest, human resistance units reorganized. Kara Douglas coordinated supply routes through collapsed infrastructure, mapping paths that Zilari could not traverse efficiently. Javier Castro led mobile units, using the environment as a weapon, striking and disappearing between storms. Leilani Hendricks monitored communication interference, identifying weaknesses in Zilari signal structures. The humans did not confront the invaders directly. They reshaped the battlefield itself. Zelther began to understand a critical distinction. Earth was not neutral ground. It was a force multiplier. Every variable weakened the invaders. Every variable strengthened the defenders. Orbital bombardment was authorized. Zilari warships targeted urban and rural zones indiscriminately, reducing large sections of Earth's surface to burning ruins. For a brief moment, resistance activity dropped. Commander Virik Toll reported partial success. Then new signals emerged. Human communication networks, fragmented yet resilient, reactivated across multiple frequencies. Leilani Hendricks coordinated decentralized transmissions, bypassing Zilari interception systems. Civilians reorganized into combat units within hours. Timothy Bender, wounded but operational, returned to the field, assisting injured fighters while rejoining frontline engagements. Kara Douglas redirected resources through improvised supply chains built from destroyed infrastructure. Javier Castro launched coordinated strikes against weakened Zilari positions. The response was faster than any predictive model allowed. Zelther observed with growing alarm. This was not a military recovering from attack. This was an entire species converting destruction into operational advantage. The bombardment had not suppressed resistance. It had accelerated it. The turning point emerged through Leilani Hendricks. Using scavenged components and repurposed communication arrays, she infiltrated Zilari command frequencies. She did not disable them. She wrote them. False orders propagated across Zilari units, redirecting entire divisions into hostile terrain and environmental hazards. Coastal units were instructed to advance into zones where water exposure caused rapid armor degradation. Commander Virik Toll attempted to reestablish control, but signal integrity collapsed. Conflicting orders spread faster than corrections. Zilari formations fragmented. Javier Castro exploited the chaos, leading targeted assaults on isolated units. Kara Douglas synchronized supply movement with Hendricks' interference, ensuring human forces remained coordinated while the enemy disintegrated. Zelther recorded the collapse of Zilari command structure in real time. The Empire had lost informational dominance, not through superior technology, through adaptive thinking. The humans had identified the rigid structure of Zilari command and turned it into a vulnerability. Zilari command entered a state of controlled collapse. Emergency protocols authorized experimental deployment under Commander Virik Toll, including atmospheric destabilization weapons. The devices failed under Earth's environmental pressure, malfunctioning or detonating prematurely. Human forces intensified operations. Tyson Bolton led deep strike missions into Zilari command zones, eliminating coordination hubs with precise execution. Timothy Bender continued frontline support, refusing extraction despite worsening injuries, sustaining human operational capacity through sheer persistence. Kara Douglas maintained logistical flow under constant threat, ensuring no unit lacked resources. The Zilari began to retreat from contested zones without orders. Discipline eroded. Zelther observed something unprecedented. The Empire was not being defeated through direct confrontation. It was unraveling. Every system designed for efficiency collapsed against unpredictability. Every calculation failed against improvisation. The humans were not stronger in isolation, but together within their environment, they became something the Empire could not model. Evacuation protocols initiated across the Zilari fleet. Ships attempted ascent, many failing under gravitational strain or environmental damage. Surviving vessels broke orbit in disorganized retreat. From the surface, human forces watched without pursuit. They did not need to chase. They had already won. Then a transmission breached Zilari frequencies. Clear. Uninterrupted. Kara Douglas stood within the ruins of New Marseille, framed by fire and collapsing structures. Javier Castro, Leilani Hendricks, Tyson Bolton, and Timothy Bender stood behind her. Unified. Operational. Alive. Douglas spoke without hesitation. "You made a mistake coming here." She paused, scanning the sky. "Your next mistake would be thinking we stay the signal ended." Zelther recorded silence across all channels. The warning beacons around Sector 22B were not deterrents. They were containment markers. Not for entry. For exit. The Grand Chronicler Zelther finalized his record aboard a retreat vessel, observing Earth diminishing behind them. The planet showed no sign of weakness. Storm systems continued. Oceans moved. Human activity resumed. Reconstruction had already begun. There was no victory celebration. No broadcast of triumph. Only continuation. Zelther understood the final truth too late. The Zilari Empire had not discovered a weak world. It had revealed itself to a species forged under constant pressure. Humanity had learned. It had adapted. And now it knew the galaxy existed. The warning beacons were never meant for invaders. They were meant for everyone else. Because what emerges from a death world does not remain contained. It expands. And this time, it would not be reacting. It would be advancing. The galaxy fears the dark between stars. It shouldn't. It should fear what crosses it with purpose. Humanity was tested, and it did not break. It evolved. And now it's looking outward. If you believe humanity is the most dangerous species ever forged by a death world, leave a like and subscribe to humanity's Vanguard. And tell me in the comments, what human instinct would terrify an alien civilization the most?